Hello, welcome back. As always, thank you for tuning in here. No matter where you come from in the world, and no matter what your spiritual or religious background is or is not, no matter what you're looking at or working with or thinking about working with on your spiritual path, welcome. There's something very important here for your consideration today and for your practical application today. Emphasis on the practical application. A Course in Miracles is what we could call a direct approach. A direct approach to what? A direct approach to truth, which is beyond all of our concepts. It's beyond words, it's beyond all of the ideas that we employ and work with here in the world. It's beyond all of that. It can be experienced. It is known, i.e., experienced. Even right here in the midst of all of our struggles. And there are many, not just today, but every day. So, wherever you happen to find yourself on this wobbling, spinning ball of rock, and wherever you happen to find yourself on what we call here in the world your spiritual journey, I really want to invite you to pay attention to the message of the Holy Spirit, our inner teacher, over the next 20 or so minutes. Some very important things will be said. What exactly will those be? I don't really know. But we're going to find out. So, are you ready? Here we go. Chapter 27, section 4 of the text of A Course in Miracles is what we're working with here. And it's all about the quiet answer. The answer to all questions comes to a quiet mind, not one that is in chaos and conflict. That kind of makes sense, doesn't it? I mean, it does. It makes sense to us on a practical level here in the world because when you think about it, who can really make good decisions about anything when they're frantic? I mean, how well do you work with your entire life if you're in a panic, an abject panic or a state of rage or something like that? It's really the same thing. How well do you listen? How well do you hear the voice for God in a state of abject rage or panic? Okay, then, the answer comes to a quiet mind. Here in the world, as we appear to run around as human beings, you heard that right, appear to run around as human beings, we're in conflict. Shocker, I know. We're in conflict, obviously. Look at the way we've divided up the world. Look at how we've allocated this weird thing, an idea, known as power, and given it to some people and not others. What's up with that? I should love to know. Well, it's something completely artificial, just as our nation states are completely artificial. I mean, there are lines on this thing that we call a map that these dudes drew hundreds of years, sometimes thousands of years ago. Made them up. It's true. So here, while we've drawn all these lines in the sand, literally and figuratively, We are in conflict. Where are we in conflict? Not here in the world, in our mind, which projected the world. You heard that right. We have made this. It's a complete fabrication of our mind. You may have heard this either here on this channel or other channels that talk about A Course in Miracles, or you may have heard this elsewhere. Maybe you haven't heard it anywhere at all, yet you've intuited it. Often, what this course has to say strikes a chord. I mean, really, a deep chord. It is a common experience for people to hear these ideas, which can seem completely radical. And, well, compared to the way the world sees things, they are radical. And think, wait a minute, that makes a lot of sense. I've always known. Yes, indeed, you have always known. You have a choice right now as to whether to continue to listen, whether to accept these ideas and put them into practice. You have a choice as to whether you're going to allow truth to be just as it is, or whether you're going to turn away. Not a single one of us can stop you from turning away. Accept yourself. This is why I say all of the time, spirituality is for grown-ups. It's an adult endeavor. You ready? Good. You're still watching. There are many opportunities built into each and every single one of these discussions for you to turn away. Yet you have not. That should tell you everything you need to know. I believe in you. Do you believe in yourself? You deserve nothing less than this direct pointing to truth. Of course, truth is beyond experience. Here in the world, we need glimpses of this because we're in such stunned disbelief. We're in conflict, and we ask many, many questions here in the world, but we ask them of the ego, of the thought that made this world itself, the thought of separation. The entire world is an illusion. It's the projection of our mind. By the way, that includes these weird little things called bodies that we take to be us, who we are. Really? You know you're not a body. You've always known. It's why you're interested in spirituality. And I mean, it's why you're interested in any tradition, any religion, any modality at all. Because you have always known that there's more to it than simply meeting the needs of a physical organism. There's nothing precious at all about the substance from which this is made. It's mostly water. Who cares? Yet we appear to be here. So a very real practical question arises. What do I do with it? Excellent. Forgive, forgive, forgive. As instructed by our inner teacher, as taught here in A Course in Miracles, forgive, forgive, forgive. It's not forgiveness as the world sees it that leaves the separation intact. This goes way beyond that. In giving this course, in presenting this course and dictating it in the first place, Jesus is addressing the mind that is in conflict. We're in conflict. We appear to be split. We appear to be an individual self-sustaining survival unit, necessarily separate from all other individual self-sustaining survival units, doing pitched battle, being manipulated by what we call the powers that be to compete with one another for what we deem to be limited and scarce resources. Panic, panic, your brother's going to get your stuff. Oh my God. Sick of that yet? Good. Often, what it takes us to arrive at the place we find ourselves on our journey, is some abject misery. And that's sad, but you may have experienced a lot of that. This course addresses the mind that appears split and in conflict. It does not address the physical body. What body? It does not address the world itself. What world? It addresses the mind that made it. Yes, the mind is that powerful. Having made this, the mind can unmake it, can set it aside. We ask all kinds of questions here in the world, and we don't get the answer that we're looking for. We're looking in the wrong place. We're looking in the world of illusions itself, looking at illusions and saying to ourselves, of all of these illusions, which one is true? Let's back up. For an obvious question with an obvious answer. Of all of these illusions, which one is true? Of all of these illusions, which one is true? None. Did you answer that? That's the answer. They're illusions. When we effectively ask this question, we're simply recasting all of our separation ideas in a different guise. We're basically asserting a preference. We're saying, of all of these illusions, I prefer this one. So I'm going to make it true to me until such time as it reveals itself to be grossly lacking and not giving me what I really want, i.e., the peace of God, which can't be found in the world of illusions. It is not an illusion. This is. Annette, still with me? Excellent. You've had many opportunities and you're still here. The list grows smaller. I should tell you everything you need to know, huh? You're watching this for a reason. Let the message of the Holy Spirit hit home with you. Really. All we do here in the world is assert our preference. We ask questions of the thought system that is the problem. Now, here's the very, very fortunate, happy, and good part about all of this. God has given us an answer. The answer lies outside of time. It lies outside of space. And because of that, it's available to us right now, not in the future. You don't have to wait until this thing craps out and dies. No, you don't have to wait for that. Now, when else? God has given us an answer that is outside time, i.e., it is available right now, immediately, in this moment. And again, when else? When else but the present moment? Now. This answer has nothing to do with the world that we've made. It's outside it. God has given us a way to access a state of mind that is outside of all of our conventions of space and time. It's not of this world. We have access to this because it's part of our mind. The Holy Spirit is part of our mind, not separate from you. There is no separation. The Holy Spirit is not some foreign or outside power. It's part of our mind. We have access to this always. It's part of our mind. The answer, and if you prefer, answer with a capital A, comes from outside the world. When we attempt to find answers to our questions and all of our grief and problems in the world that created them in the first place, we simply recycle them. We choose a different partner. We choose a different job. We choose a different shirt, a different home, a different spiritual modality to make the world better, shinier, better. What world? The course that you're studying, that we're talking about, A Course in Miracles, does not aim in any way to make the dream a better, more secure and comfortable dream. It will help you wake up from the dream. And we all must decide right now, when else again, if this is indeed what we want. This is why one of the workbook lessons is, I want the peace of God. Well, yeah, yes, it's what you want. It's what we all want. And you can call it peace of mind if you want to. The peace of God, it's all any of us ever wants. Why would that be? It's all there is. It's all there is. So, yeah, we want that. But we get distracted, needlessly distracted. And sometimes it feels like hopelessly distracted, but it's not hopeless. You're still here watching this, and we all have access to the answer, capital A, the Holy Spirit, right now. In quiet, without our frantic wildness, we can hear the voice for God by which the Holy Spirit is known throughout this course. In fact, it's known by many, many different names. The answer is one of them. Mediator, communication link, friend, etc., etc. I mean, you can call it Mike, Elvis, whatever. Call it your council, your board of directors, your CEO team, your C-level executive suite, or whatever. They're all just names. What's a name? It's a label, a collection of sounds. It's nothing. The name that you choose to call our inner teacher doesn't matter at all. Don't get hung up on that. The Holy Spirit is part of our mind, which you can choose to access right now. You can choose to allow it to show you what to do. The answer in this quiet mind has been made for you. Listen to the answer that's been made for you. It's waiting for you. It's yours, but for the asking. So ask. If you're newer or brand new to this material, it can seem like a lot. Well, let me first assure you that you're here for a reason. You deserve nothing less than what this course says and means. It's a course in mind training. Healing is of the mind. Will the physical body follow that? Sure, maybe. It's not the point. Actually, it often does, but that's not the point. The point is to heal the mind. This is a course in mind training, and that is the reason why you don't see billions of people doing it. I mean, yes, it's newer. The course was dictated in the 1960s and 1970s. So, in the overall scheme of this weird illusion that we call time, it's certainly recent. But more people aren't doing it because of everything we've just been talking about for the past few minutes. It's a course in mind training that points directly to truth, and there are people out there, billions of them, that don't look like, appear to be, or aren't ready for that. All right, so be it. You know plenty of them. I do too. They're in my own family. They think I'm nuts. Who cares? You're here. That is what matters. And you know that's what matters. So, once again, you're here for a reason. The Holy Spirit has said something to you. This communication mechanism, pixelated image on your screen, it's nothing. It's constellated in the form of a middle aged man from Arizona with some gray hair. A lot of the hair's fallen out. I mean, what's so special about that? Nothing. What's important is what has landed for you. That is the Holy Spirit. This is the answer that's available to you, which you can access, and not while you're frantic and racing around in a state of mad panic. That's not when we hear best. So, whatever you can do today and every day to relax your mind, even if it's only for a fraction of a second or two, is perfect. It's more than enough. In quiet, we can hear the voice for God. You'll be told what to do in all situations. Along the way, questions are inevitable. And if you have them, I do want to make sure you know it's okay to ask them here. I invite questions because part of the rationale behind giving these videos, other than the fact that I've been instructed to do that, this is my own directive. You don't have to turn on a camera and microphone and broadcast to a global audience. I'm doing it. Your directives may look very, very different depending on who you are, who you know, what your station of life is, where you live, your proclivities, the things that you're good at here in the world, all that stuff. The question thread here on YouTube is a very good place to ask questions. And if you're concerned, and I know some of you are concerned about asking questions because we can all relate to this. We've all been in the situation thinking, I have a question, but I'm hesitant to ask it because it's really basic. It's a basic question. I'm concerned we would even call it a dumb question. Well, there's no such thing, as we all know. I want to invite you to ask those and any questions that you may have about this material and about the spiritual path in general. Those are often the best questions because it very well may be that somebody that's been studying this course for 20 or 30 years will benefit. You'll illuminate their mind by asking the question and having an answer. Something will click in the mind of someone on the other side of the globe whom you're not likely to meet in person, at least. Anyway, You could very well liken it to sitting in a classroom, which I'm sure you remember as kids. There were times where 20 people had the same question, and one kid had the courage to raise his or her hand. And upon asking the question, there was a palpable sigh of relief from the other 19 students that were wondering the same thing. All the more reason to ask them if you've got them. And if you have not subscribed, do that. Prompt is over here. That's the icon in the corner of your screen. Click that, join us, and we'll see you back here on the next video. And once again, this course cuts right to the chase. It doesn't mess around. So pixelated image on your screen is not going to mess around either. You deserve nothing less. What you do with it is entirely up to you. As you well know, again, it's an adult endeavor, and you're an adult. Welcome. All right, and I'll see you again on the next video.